Let's tackle two more things. One of them is adding images to your Figma. So a lot of formats are supported, which is really great. Most of the ones that you're going to be using are going to be supported with Figma. So let's just say you have some kind of a image that you want to drag. This one is, for example, a JPEG. I can just drag it into Figma and you can see that the image is in here. And the other thing that I want to show you is how masks work. Now, for most of the use cases, you can actually use frames and their clipping options to be able to do the same thing that a mask does. So you can see if I just create a frame like this over this image and drag the image into the frame. Since the clip content option is on, my image is basically cropped the way this frame that everything is in is clipping it. Now, if you wanted to do something more advanced, for example, if I wanted my image to actually have this shape, that's maybe something that you would use a mask for. Now, when it comes to masks, one thing that's crucial is that the image that you want to clip needs to be above the shape that you want to use as a mask. So, to demonstrate, I'm going to have the shape that we're going to use as a mask below the image here on top. I'm going to select both and create a group. Now, why I created a group, the reason behind it is that everything that's inside that group is going to be affected by the layer that's on the bottom, which is this mask one. And everything outside of the group is not going to be affected. So for example, if we have two images that are going to be in the same position, one is outside of the group and one is below and one is inside the group, then only the one inside the group is going to be affected. So if I hit on the mask and use this layer that I have selected, which is this shape that we just drew, and I hit use as mask, it's gonna create a mask. So you can see it in here. It affects everything up until the point where the group is here. To demonstrate, I'm gonna hide the layer on top that is this second copy of the image that we created by clicking this little icon, and you can now see that this layer below is inside a mask. If we want to resize it, I can hold shift while resizing to constrain the proportions of the image that I'm resizing. I can kind of play around this area that I have available of my original shape and kind of position the image in the right place where I want it positioned. One of the reasons why I duplicated this image is to show you how layers and groups work, but also to show you that you can use opacity of the original image to create some interesting designs by using masks below. Because on the top, we have our image right now, which is set at 20% opacity. I did it by hitting 2 on the keyboard. So if I hit 3, the opacity is set at 30%, 40%, 50% if I hit 5, and so on. So a 0 would be 100%. If I hit 0 2 times quickly, it's going to move to 0% opacity, and that's how opacity works. And you can see now that it kind of shows me what's below that image, and it's our interesting shape with a mask inside it. So just some things that you can maybe use masks for, but for a lot of the use cases that we're going to have as interface or UX UI or product designers, most of the things that we can actually need to achieve are achievable by just using frames. So yeah, keep it in mind, some of the things, how masks work, where you need to position some things, and what's going to be considered for that mask. It's all connected to the group that it's in. Also, if I duplicate this layer, this image that we have, and I want to push it a little bit more on top like this. I'm just gonna hide this for now. You can see that the mask is affecting both images, not just the original one. So that's one of the reasons why I want to keep things grouped, because then you have more control of what the mask will actually affect and what it won't affect. It won't affect anything that's on top of it.